Hello and welcome to another episode of Meet the Ambassadors. My name is Ozioma Egwuonwu and I am the founder of World Dream Day. And today I have a special guest who is coming all the way from Brazil. Welcome to our amazing guest, Myrian Castello.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you all and with you, Ozioma. That is such an inspiration for me.
Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be with you. And it's a pleasure to just be able to dive deep into what you've been up to, this wonderful work. It's important for me to say that currently we are in the middle of, or actually a couple of days into a special global experience that's coming straight out of Brazil called Right to Dream Week, which Myrian is the founder of. She's also the founder of Fábrica dos Sonhos. And she's going to tell us all about her journey as well as her role as a World Dream Day ambassador. So without further ado, I welcome you, Myrian, to tell your story and to share your brilliance with all of us. Take it away.
Thank you so much for this space. So, I love dreams since my university. I was in university in 2013, and I was there seeing that a lot of people were struggling with the university, was not happy, or were facing mental health issues, and they didn't know each other's dreams, they didn't know each other's stories, and this was 2013, and people were really facing a lot of problems, and I realized that something needed to be done. And so I got some friends together. I got an inspiration, as you were telling today. So I had an inspiration of 1,000 butterflies flying, and I realized that that were dreams, and that I needed to do something to rescue people's dream. And we gave it a name so that people could be more connected and support more each other. So that's how it became Dream Factory, Fábrica dos Sonhos. And after that, I could take part in different programs and understand the world of facilitation, and the organization got more and more, how can I say, like, better, and it was working. We were finding more and more people, doing more and more workshops and talks, and we realized that what we were doing were very important to the world, and that dreaming is as important as love, and it made a lot of sense. So one day we had this project with schools around a city, like 93 schools at the same time, where we were doing dreaming and also hands-on projects with the city hall, and it really made a change for that place. And with that, we had more opportunities to go to places that I and Fábrica dos Sonhos we never thought we would be. And yes, and since 2013, we've been exploring this world of dreaming and the importance of dreaming, because depending on where you come from, I come from a small town. My city is one of the fourth municipality that is like the smallest in Brazil. And also I live here, and I live in two cities, this and another one in the side that has like 4,000 inhabitants, and it's very small, like very in the countryside. And normally people don't know that they can expand their horizons or that they can have opportunities. And this is majority in the world, like small cities, outskirts, they are majority in the world. So how can we make people that comes from this background to have access to opportunities and to dream more? Because dream can really change everything. And since then we've been doing this work, and in 2018 we started a movement called the Right to Dream movement, and where we had this idea to transform dreaming into a universal human right, basic human right, and the 18th SDG. And we didn't have any idea of how to do it, but we knew that was the right thing. And since then, we've been doing, besides the campaigns, the advocacy. In 2020, we started the Right to Dream Week, where the idea is to bring all people around the world to dream and to do things. And the first one was in October. And in October, we discovered, after we did the week, we discovered that there was a World Dream Day. We said, oh my God, there's a World Dream Day. So what if instead of doing two separate things, why don't we bring from October, we do it in September so that we can honor World Dream Day and also bring it more strength and collaborate with the process. And I didn't know Ozioma by that time. And when we did it was like 2021, and we started to do activities, and it was really good. Like we have people around the world joining us and doing activities, and it was really nice. And then last year I met Rana Badarani, that is a ambassador from France, and she sent me a message on LinkedIn, and she said, hey, Myrian, you work with dreams. I'm very curious to know what you're doing. I love dreams as well. I work with dreams. Should we connect? And I said, yes. And I said, oh, I'll bring the World Dream Day founder, Ozioma, to the conversation. And we talked, and was, when you meet, it was like first time meeting, and we really got well together. Very inspiring, and realized that made sense, like to unite forces, like their dream, part of their dreams, because they have many dreams, of course, as all human beings, but was to transform dreaming, the World Dream Day, into a day, an official day in the UN. And I said, yes, count on me, because I think this, like having a World Dream Day as an official day, it will support also this idea to transform dreaming into a basic human right and in the 18th SDG. So since then, we're together, we've been having meetings, and now I'm here. Like we're doing the Right to Dream Week here in Brazil, and it's been an amazing journey.
Thank you so much, Myrian, for just sharing with us kind of your journey and where you are today, as well as the power of collaboration, because that's truly what it's about. The lone wolf days of, command and control and only one leader and only one person can be, those days are over. It is about collaboration. It is about coming together and aligning for the service of something greater. And when we do that, more magical things become possible, not just for our initiatives, but also how we grow as individuals and also how we develop connection. So, what I love about what you started to speak about in the very beginning of your journey is you shared something that is so important. And I want us to bring to the forefront, because you said you had this vision, you had this awareness, and then suddenly you began to take action, right? You got trained, you began to learn things, you began to move in a particular way. And I always, especially when we talk about World Dream Day ambassadors and the notion of taking action with our dreams, I love to bring up this image of the dream runner, because a dream runner is that symbol of exactly what you're speaking about: perseverance, right? Aspirations, generosity. And that as you moved forward with being able to develop the Right to Dream movement, develop, Fábrica dos Sonhos, and work together with others, so much more possibility emerged, right? And so this can be done as an individual and as an organization. And you are truly a, just an example of both. And so just wanted to really, really highlight that. So I want to celebrate you for all your wonderful, wonderful work. And then I also want us to know more about Right to Dream Week and what actually happens during that week, because we're in the midst of it.
Yes, we are. Like, so the week is every September from 18th to the 25th. Every year has a theme, like the World Dream Day. And the idea is that we collect the activities and that we incentivize people from different organizations or in their family to make activities so that they can support or incentivize dreaming around them and bring this awareness of dreaming. And right now we are having a lot of activities in different places. Like the first year almost didn't happen, but then because there were people that were committed of doing it, we were like, no, let's do, even if we have one activity, let's make it happen. And it was amazing. Like we were very surprised because we thought there was not going to be any activity, and we had 26 activities and like more than 1,000 people being part of it, and we were like, what? So that was really cool. And then the second year we faced another growth, like more people were joining. And but there was a really important thing in this process. So like the second year we had more people, the third year we had more people, and now in the fourth year we realized that the previous years we were very tired in the end of the week, and we said this is not okay. Like we need to do in a way where we can still be ourselves and we can still take care of ourselves. Otherwise, it loses sense. So this year we're taking it more slowly to find a balance so that we can keep doing a good work, but also with more structure inside out. Because if I do a good work with myself, if I'm feeling good, it's easier to, you know, to make like the dreams grow, you know? So like by taking care of our own soil and the collective soil as well when we live in community, it's easier to make the seeds grow and become seedlings and trees and everything. In Dream Factory, you have a quote. We say that dreams are seeds and together we are forest. So as you were saying, it's collaborative and we really like to make metaphors with like plants and nature because we really believe in nature as a path to grow dreams.
I absolutely love that. And I think it also aligns with our theme this year of cultivate dreams, you know? And so this idea of the soil, the fertilizer, the light that's needed, all the resources that are needed in order to enable something to grow, to thrive, to flourish is exactly what's needed for dreams to become reality. And so tell me about what is it like for a dreamer in Brazil? What
Ooh,
is it
that's
like to be a dreamer in Brazil?
a good question. Such a good question. I have like Raisa is watching us. She also can help us. Wow, we have so many Brazils inside Brazil. So it would be impossible to share, oh, it's like this, because Brazil is very diverse and we have a lot of inequalities. So it really depends on the context where you came from, unfortunately. And this is something that we want to change. Like we want that independently of the context you came from, we want everybody to be able to dream. Because as we were saying this morning, like dreaming should be like it is a human right, but it's not because not everyone has access to it. Sometimes I ask someone, "Oh, what is your dream?" And people are like, "What? No, I don't have dreams." And we don't want that. We want people to really be able to imagine their futures and imagine the world that they want to live in and imagine what they want for their lives. And this shouldn't happen. It's something that was taken away from us and that we really want to change. And the way that we can change that is first recognizing that some people don't have their basic needs fulfilled or don't have access to a quality education. So I think it's really important to bring this access like to basic needs so that it's easier to dream when you ask this dream. The second thing I think that Brazilians have, as Raisa is saying here in the chat, is that we are creative. Like we learned through the years how to make what we say gambiarra. It's a very Portuguese word. Like we do gambiarra. Like we figure out how to do. We fazemos os corres. We make like it's like the run dreamers. We have another word in Brazilian to say people that faz os corres, like that run uh, to get what they need and to find a way out so that they can thrive. So in the end of the day, I think we have a lot of talents, a lot of resources, a lot of things that we can use, but we need to take care of our self-esteem, of our access, and some of these things needs to be done in different levels. Like some are in the personal level, but some are in a governmental level with public policies, with things that will really support people to dream more.
So true. I think that's a big distinction that's important for people to realize is very often, you know, the dream comes in at a level, this very high level that almost feels like it's detached from reality. But it's a dance between being able to hold possibility at the highest level in the most expansive way, but then be able to roll up our sleeves and do the ground level work, change the policies that need to be changed, make sure that there is support and sustenance on the ground level. And this notion of dreaming and doing, and the role you mentioned, the government, right? Um, what do you believe the role of the government is, especially in Brazil, or should be, when it comes to dreaming and doing? And the reason why I'm asking that is because we have this theme of cultivate dreams, and we know that um, the government is a part of this conversation. And so, what are some of your thoughts about that?
Such good questions. Oh my god. So I think, and I want to hear from you as well. But here in Brazil, I believe first of all is about education. Like even its government, we need like a good education so that we can have a critical thinking, and with that, choose people that really represent us and have them in the government. With that, we'll have like public policies that will change the environment so that we can have more access to food, access to like all the agenda that we have. I think also the creation of these public policies, and we as citizens can ask them for this creation. And this is something that we are doing here in a local and in a federal level, like to really put dreaming inside the constitution, inside the law, the organic law of the city, and really being activist and saying, hey, there are people that need us to do things so that they can have more possibilities, you know? And I believe the 2030 agenda and SDGs is also a huge path, because every SDG is a place where we can dream and that needs us to make a better planet with leaving no one behind. And I believe we can turn dreaming into another SDG that is not there, because if you have all these SDGs contemplated, there is this other one of, instead of taking care of what is needed, after that, what do we want? And we don't want people to be left behind, but what do we dream for women? What do we dream for cities, neighborhoods? What do we dream for our environment? What do we dream with any of them? If people are no longer passing through any inequalities, what is the world we want to live in? How it does look like? If we imagine that and we invoice that, we bring it into the world somehow, it's easier to walk towards there. And this for me has to be a lot with what we were talking earlier this day, of really this power of dreaming, of taking it not just inside, but once you put in a paper or you invoice to someone or you manifest it here in this earth, it's a way to commit somehow with something that is really important. And this can make a difference. I believe that with government and with ourselves bringing truth, I think we can make a huge difference. And this gives me a lot of hope, actually, of what we can do, what is the world I want to live in, and that we still have time. You know, we just need what you said, like to connect people, to be together, so that we can make a difference.
I agree with you so wholeheartedly, and also wanted to presence because when we talk about the sustainable development goals and that journey, at that time I had just left my role as a vice president in corporate America, and I began my journey of a different levels of impact, and so going through community work and community transformation, but also very much in and out of the United Nations, working with non-governmental organizations, as well as even moderating high-level meetings at the United Nations. And one thing that many people don't remember around that time is that what fed into what became the Sustainable Development Goals, right? These SDGs 17, was actually inspired as well by a series of meetings as well as a survey that was called The World We Want. So, the world we want and the creation of that was very central to the SDGs. And I think what's happening is very interesting right now, because I think the United Nations and many organizations are starting to realize that you can't put out these goals without reorienting consciousness, without repatterning behavior, without transforming the entire relational field, which is why now we're starting to see the rise of futures literacy as a capacity that is needed to be cultivated. And so we know that next year there's also going to be that huge futures summit that the United Nations and many other organizations, including ours, will definitely be involved in. But this notion of the future, dreams and the future, I would love to know, when you think about the future, when you think about dreams and our world, what do you envision? What do you imagine that what do you imagine will be the role of dreams in the future? And I'll also share that myself as well after you go. So let's treat this part of the conversation as like a nice little closing dream session, a dream cipher.
I imagine a world where everyone can play and can be free and can dream, and it's a world where we support each other and where we are happy and that we can share things and we're not afraid of the other person. We are really understanding that there's so much more, like there's such an abundance around us, and it's a world where no one is left behind. Like there's no hunger, there is no poverty, there is everybody has houses in their own way and work, and it's a world with like not difference. Like people can really occupy spaces and they like education. They go to the schools, they are happy in the schools because schools also are a place that incentivize imagination, creativity, and dreaming. And this also support us with our mental health. Like we're not facing that much disease of mental health issues because we're taking care of our dreams. And nature is also thriving. We're not like no longer hurting the planet as we are. Like we're really taking care, and it's not as hot as it's getting. Like we're coming back to our to our origins.
So beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is a powerful dream of possibility. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so. When I think about the future and I think about the role of dreams, I see dreams as becoming central to the way in which we operate, the way in which we even start our meetings. We first focus on what is our dream for the possibility of our project. What is the dream for the possibility of our community? And not only do we ask questions that place dreaming at the center and possibility at the center, but we also create spaces and places within our cultures where people can come together and cohere around shared purpose, around a common dream. And in fact, there's a role of someone in the community that is a dream tender, the dream carer, the person who's cultivating and nourishing and always asking the question, are these actions we're taking in our community, are they helping us bring forth and unleash the power of dreams in our community? And so it becomes a way in which individually and collectively we begin to reorient ourselves around not the lowest common denominator, but the highest level possibility. And this highest level possibility becomes the North Star. that impacts the way in which businesses operate, that impacts the ways in which families operate, that impacts the way in which all of us orient ourselves around what is our greatest possibility as human creatures on this planet, and how can we support and cohere and connect with the other possibilities for the other shared entities that share this planet. And so I really believe in a world where dreams become, and when I say the dream, I'm specifically speaking about highest level possibilities become central to the goal. It is not about becoming rich and wealthy and having it all. It is about coming together and raising all of us so collectively we can be it all. And that is what I pray, and that is what I wish, and that is what I dream of for our world and our shared possibility.
Me too. So beautiful to hear from you. And I also envision, like, I want to give voice to it. Like, I see World Dream Day be an official day in this process, dreaming being a universal human right, and we at the UN with like a new board there and the 18th SDG too. And yeah, I think there is a journey in front of us, ahead of us, but I see that also we are already walking through this journey, and
Yes.
this makes my heart sing.
Yeah, all of us who are, there's our organizations, and then there's so many other dreamers around the world that feel this call, this invitation, this collective and individual invitation to really rise on behalf of possibility. And so I want to ask you, what was it that inspired you to become more engaged with World Dream Day? What was that kindling? Because now we're going to transition into a little bit around, you know, ambassadoring and being able to be a stand in a particular way for holding dreams on a local as well as global level. And so to get that started, just share with us what inspired you to become more connected to this World Dream Day conversation.
Because I really believe in it. I really believe in World One Day, in you and your purpose, your dream, and I really believe in power of dreams as well. And I know that it's not just yours. It's, as you said, collective, and I think the world can benefit from it, and my country and my neighborhood and the people from our organization, like my organization that I'm representing here as well. I think we have a huge role, like in bringing in countryside places, like countryside cities, bringing this, wow, it's possible, you can do an activity, you can be part of this huge movement and day that is around the world. And I think it's also a place of belonging and coming together with people that have similar dreams and thoughts, that really believes in dreams. So this is also another reason. And because it made sense, it really made sense to bring together instead of doing something separated and compete, to create like a place where we can all win and strength, like bring strength to each other, to all the projects. We don't have to say, oh, I'm going to do another dream day. No, why? Like, it doesn't make sense. So as it's already there, let's make it happen, like, let's support this. It's already there. And I think we need more of this in the world, like people supporting each other's dreams, each other's calls, so that we can try it. That's why. And it's been great. We've been having meetings, and I feel very belonging, and I feel very understood with you all. I It's amazing because I just got to know you all. It's been a while, like 1 year maybe, and I really love you all, guys. It's a place of belonging, and we had the opportunity to meet in person, me and Ozioma, me and you, and that was magical as well. I can see that as we are in this ground, or in this path of like dreaming and bringing dreaming in another level, like the importance of dreaming. I think we are really connected somehow, so it makes sense.
Thank you so much, Myrian, for your wonderful words and your wonderful work in the world. And just again, how can people learn how to celebrate the Right to Dream Week, which is happening right now, and also more about Fábrica dos Sonhos and learning about the work that you're doing? Tell us how we can get connected and synced up and engaged.
Great. So we have many works in Dream Factory. So nowadays, like we have a headquarters where we bring people to dream, but we go anywhere in the world that calls us, and we've been in different places. We went to 14 countries and already had like people dreaming with us, 18,000 people. And how you can get involved is there are many ways. One of them, the simple one is dreaming, like by dreaming in your house or dreaming with your family and ask, like, have quality time with your family and ask them, what is your dream? What do you like? What is your story? Making time for that, I think, is a great way to contribute with our cause, not just with Dream Factory, but with what we are doing, people that work with dreams. Same for schools, work, organizations. And other ways is also we have some places that subscribe to host an activity during Right to Dream Week. And if you want, you can do that on the 25th, for example, so that you can support World Dream Day and Right to Dream Week. So you can align both activities, and you can do any activity that has to be with the theme of the year, and it has to happen between 18th and the 25th. After that, you take a photo, you make like a description of the activity, what happened, how many people participated, what were your learnings, and from there we make a report of what was the impact or what happened during the year. And every year different activities happen. So we had people that painted walls, that were people that made circles and lives like we're doing. There were people that made a mural with dreams, people that made action or like a catwalk show because it were their dreams. So I'm seeing also this weekend World Dream Day as a place also to make your dreams come true. It's a place where you come with your consciousness, like we were so aware of the dreaming that people feel invited to use this space to do something that they want to do, but they were not feeling as encouraged as they could be. So this week has been also a place for first times, a place for doing a first time live on Instagram, or to make this catwalk show, or do activities in your school. Or, for example, yesterday we had an activity where the girls, like from this project, they wanted to start. There are a lot of dogs that are in the streets in one of the cities, and they started a project that is called the Solidarity Pause, where they are doing a lot of actions to take care in this heat that we are facing in the planet. They are distributing water for dogs that are in the streets, and they started a report, like a official letter for the government, so that they can ask a place for the dogs made by the government. So there's so many things that happens when when we have conscious and we bring this to the table and say, hey, what is the thing that touches your heart that you want to do? What is your dream? What are the projects that you have? What would you like to learn? What is alive in you? And with that, I think so many possibilities are opened to us. And I believe that, as we were saying today, that dreaming can really change the world. I think there are so many possibilities that live inside the dreaming, and I want everybody to be able to dream.
So, so, so beautiful. I mean, so much of what you expressed is what we also have seen through the work, right? World Dream Day from 2012, when it was first created and celebrated, all the way till this day. These are patterns. These patterns exist when people are invited into the space of dreaming and doing, into the space of experimentation, into the space of innovation. And this is where businesses are born. This is where new capacities develop. There's one when you were speaking about the actions that were taken. It reminded me of an amazing dreamer, Tanor Ali, who came to World Dream Day one year, and every year she used it to level up, and now she has an amazing natural rural farm project in the South. And she always cites World Dream Day allowed us to engage a ritual that allowed us to continue on a path. And so, right to Dream Week, these collective rituals, whether it's a day or a week, they invite us to step into new dimensions of possibility. And if we're lucky, and if we're committed, and if we really, really believe, this day becomes every day. And suddenly you're living in that dream reality. It's not just about one day or one week. It's about creating a sustained experience where we can actually live in the realm of higher possibilities by becoming the people that can make that happen, and the communities and businesses and world where it all becomes possible. I want to thank you, Myrian, for your time and for your work and just for being you. Is there anything else you want to say before we officially close our conversation?
I want to appreciate you and say that you're really an inspiration, and that I'm very thankful that you allowed yourself to manifest this dream into the world,
Mm.
because this changes everything and it's really making a difference. And I want to say also that dreams and love is everything, and they should not be seen as, how can I say it in English, as not important. They're really important, and we need to give it the value it deserves. And we need everyone to do that, because we are only going to build the world we want to live in if we dream with it and walk towards it. And yes, so let's do it. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but it's a work that is not heavy. It's something that makes sense, and I want everybody that wants to join us.
Yes, yes, yes. So join us, join us, join us. Come and join us with your ideas, your goals, your dreams, so that we can all collectively make our world what it truly can be, something magnificent, something magical. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you.
Thank you, Ozioma. You were the best. What a good friend. Thank you all that you watched us.
Thank you